Welcome to the Huron Valley Now podcast, where we tell inspiring stories of business, life, and giving back. Today I'm here with my guest, Heidi Olson, who is a mindfulness coach in the Highland area. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Do you want to introduce yourself to the community, Heidi?
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Happy to be here. I am a mindfulness coach, and I'm currently teaching classes in the Highland Activity Center, as well as providing personal coaching for people that have goals and things that they want to attain, but they're just having trouble moving to that next level.
That sounds amazing. So many people in this community are looking to take their life to the next level. So tell me a little bit about your journey. What got you into mindfulness? What were you doing before this?
So my mindfulness journey actually started with a weight loss journey that I started in 2020 during COVID, actually. And I was an ultrasound tech prior to that. But starting my weight loss journey, I had lost 90 pounds on that journey. And going through a transformation like that, realizing that it wasn't just a diet anymore, it really meant a lifestyle change. So having to embrace mindfulness and new habits and ways to implement that, that is really what started me on the journey to mindfulness myself. And I fell in love with it and wanted to bring it to the world. So,
Love that. So you mentioned that weight loss was a big part of your journey. What are some pivotal moments in your journey, maybe with that weight loss, that really built up enough momentum to get you to change careers?
It's actually interesting that you put it that way, because through the program that I was able to lose the weight with, I became a coach with them as well. So in my own journey, seeing the rapid results that I was achieving, the change in the mindset, really tapping into what it meant to make the lifestyle changes, I knew that that was something that I wanted to do more of. And it actually happened to be that the ultrasound place that I was working for was bought out. And so they found jobs for all of the other places, all of the other employees, and the imaging center was left out of that. And so I was kind of forced to either pick up another ultrasound job or reinvent myself. And so I think my timing with my weight loss journey really set me up for that chance to make that pivot. And I just grabbed a hold of it and ran with it.
It really is some perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say your experience with ultrasound and that career before, how do you carry that into being a mindfulness coach?
Well, relating it to the weight loss piece of it first is day after day after day, I was seeing patients come in with diagnosis that was related to their health. So maybe a fatty liver or gallbladder disease and things of that nature. And a lot of it was realizing that it's what we're doing to ourselves with our diet. So in making the changes in my own health, I really kind of started putting those pieces together and connecting that way. And as far as making the connection between being an ultrasound tech and moving into mindfulness, I was really able to start practicing more of that with my patients. So as they came in, I was listening to understand them. I was really giving them that space in that 30 minutes that I had an appointment with them to really listen to their fears, their concerns, what's really been going on with them, and just to give them a bit more of that, make them feel heard. So, and that's really definitely led to and transpired into my mindfulness coaching as well.
It's so important. Sometimes we need somebody to listen to us.
Yeah, just being heard and validated is so important.
It really is. And you've been talking about mindfulness and weight loss. What else can mindfulness help with? What is mindfulness? What if somebody is kind of new to it?
So mindfulness really is just being more aware and more present, taking more personal responsibility of the choices that we're making in our life. So it really it's taking that step back and really looking at our life and the choices. Are we making them because we want to? Are they socially driven? Where does that come? So becoming more present and more mindful about our choices is.
And with that, you probably see a lot of misconceptions about mindfulness. What are some of those?
Yeah, I've actually been at public events, and I've set information out about what I do, and it's kind of funny. People will walk past me and roll their eyes and say, no. Like, they think that it's just woo-woo, and it's something that it's not for them, it's never gonna work for me, that's just weird, and just the misconceptions with that. And those are the people, they're not my people now, but they are definitely the people that need it most, because taking that introspection and realizing that.
I've seen a lot of people who are jaded against mindfulness from their past experience of just being around people who maybe take it too far, or not even too far, but in a direction that doesn't jive with them.
Sure, exactly.
And so I'm really a big fan of this more modern mindfulness movement, where it is a little bit more accepting, a little bit more open, and just welcoming people to pause and start looking at their lives. They don't have to make a giant leap. When we're talking about mindfulness, what does it look like to work with you or to work with a coach?
So right now I'm actually wrapping up our third session, a 7-week session, and today's topic was post-traumatic growth, which was an amazing concept and idea. But for that, working with the community classes, they're 1-hour classes, and I just have a myriad of different topics that I've created courses around. And so we just come together join together as a community and just share our own thoughts and experiences as I present the topics. And I give everybody a challenge or some things to possibly work on for the upcoming week. So, and then as far as personal coaching, that's done on a one-on-one basis, usually through Zoom, something like that. And that's a 50-minute to 1 hour session. And that could be weekly, monthly, whatever works for the client and what their goals look like, what they want to achieve.
And when you're working one-on-one with a client like that, are there some common things that come up?
Self-worth, self-esteem, really wanting to get in touch with their more authentic self, even though they don't have the words for that at the moment, but just moving more in towards making their decisions for themselves. Again, moving away from what they think society expects of them, or family expects of them, or friends want them to do, moving more into what's actually going to help them facilitate their own personal goals.
Yes. So much of our lives are just reactions to what's going on around us. It's important to take that time to learn what we want, especially as we get older. And with that, you're known as like a confidence builder. Tell me a little bit about how you use mindfulness to encourage people toward their confidence.
I think as people begin to step away again from what society wants from them, or what their expectations of that is, it's a scary and a lonely place to step out off that ledge, right? So being that safe space, that comfort zone, that one that's gonna hold the parachute for them as they start to take that leap, when they start doing new little things that they never thought they could do before, it starts to bring confidence into their life, even in the tiniest ways. And then they're like, okay, well, that wasn't so bad. Maybe I'll try this, or maybe I'll say that, and next thing you know, they're doing big things for themselves. So, but it's all kind of behind the scenes, sometimes without them even realizing it. So just being that confidence builder on the backside.
Yes, I love that. I was talking with somebody earlier who was talking about being a results-driven versus, what's the other side of it? Implementation-driven. Okay. So he's focusing on doing the right things up front that lead to results. So can you share some of these success stories of instilling confidence in people and maybe what that's allowed them to do?
One of my favorite stories comes to mind about a really good friend of mine, and she and I have actually grown a lot together in this journey, and it's been fun to watch the ebb and the flow between either one of us on our path. But working with her through her weight loss journey as well, watching that self-worth, that self-esteem really begin to build, and we call it peeling away the layers of the onion, so to speak, and little bits by little bits. I don't say that I want this for everyone, but she was able to build the confidence and the self-esteem to actually leave a very dysfunctional marriage with a narcissistic partner. And she's got 2 teenage girls, adolescent girls. And so to watch her come into her own strength and to find her own voice, to find her own worth, and to watch her find the courage to step away from something like that, especially with the girls, it's never an easy thing to have to do. But now she gets to show those girls what the other side of that looks like, what the possibility is, that you don't have to just stay under someone else's thumb just to be there just because. And so to watch her transformation, it's really been beautiful, and it's only going to make them stronger in the long run too.
That's really beautiful. What role do you think that mindset plays in personal transformations like that?
I think mindset is absolutely everything. We can do something for a minute. But unless you've got that mindset that says keep going, unless you have your why that's waiting for you at the end, which changes often, by the way. So, but as long as you have the mindset of, like, my favorite twist on it is, I can't do that yet. And just adding that yet to it, that mindset is just, that's empowering in itself, to just say, you know what, I don't have the skills right now, but I'm going to figure it out because I like that version of me that I'm envisioning, and we're going to figure out how to get there. So mindset, and then surrounding yourself with like-minded people, like-minded communities, empowering yourself through, podcasts and books and things of that nature, just to really reinforce that mindset. I think it's absolutely imperative.
Yeah, it's amazing how powerful it can be, the community we put ourselves around, the knowledge, the books, the tapes, the YouTube videos that we watch, how much that can impact who we are as a person, how we interact with this world. Yeah, it is so significant. If somebody's brand new to mindfulness and they're brand new to all this, how could they get started? Are there some small habits that they could do? What would you suggest to somebody?
Yeah, I think the biggest one would be, and actually the VA hospital, the VA association actually calls it catch it, check it, and change it. And so when you are noticing that there are things that you want to change within your life or about yourself, to really start to catch when you're starting to make that your initial habit. Catch it and then check it. Is this what's going to serve me now? Is this going to move me in the direction that I really want to go? And if it's not, then change it. Even if it's an interpersonal relationship, conversation, communication, maybe you didn't really mean to be that harsh or that snarky with someone. Catch it, check it. I really apologize. Can I have a do-over with that? Change it. Give yourself the grace and the space to be able to do that. So, and then of course, meditation, journaling, all of those things. And if people are new to it, just give it a chance, because what if that piece of your personal change is waiting in the things that you haven't been willing to do up to this point?
It's just so empowering because it gives you that moment to see that you're not in a limited situation, limited by your emotions, but you have that potential to change it. You have that limitless outlook now.
Absolutely. It gives you that space between stimulus and response.
Yes, and I've seen so many people who just having that 5-second pause, they swear by it because it just gives them that freedom to separate from their emotions and their, that momentary impulse. Yeah. And to check in with themselves, what they actually want to do in that moment.
Exactly. Do I want to even reply to this right now?
And let's see, if there are some busy individuals, we've got a busy area around here, how would they get started in mindfulness?
Well, first of all, excuses are always going to win. And I do tell my clients, I said, you know what, as much as I love you, and this might sound harsh, while you are unique, you're not special. And I could tell you every single person I talk to all day long is busy. So you make time for what's important to you. And so maybe there are some things, if you could zoom out a little bit and really write down what happens in your day. Are there things that you can delegate or even delete? Maybe you have a habit of sitting down and your last hour and a half of your day is binging Netflix. Maybe you could take 30 minutes of that and journal, meditate, turn off the phone, turn off the TV that half an hour before bed. Just really set yourself up for success, because everyone really is busy, but we have to make time. So maybe it's waking up 15 minutes early. I hate to even say that because my time is, our sleep time is precious, but again, you have to find time for what's important.
And you're no stranger to being busy, are you?
Oh, my word.
You run all kinds of things. We're helping people with mindfulness all around town, but then you run this popcorn business. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we do a lot actually in the Highland and Huron Valley area. So you've probably seen us around. It's Howdy's Old Time Popcorn, and it's in a cute little popcorn wagon. And that started several years ago. And my husband and I, we kind of have this motto of, you know what we should do? And then we just come up with something, and then here it comes. So my husband had in mind the concession stand that he was looking for. We found it. It was living in Wisconsin, so we drove over to Wisconsin and brought it home, and it's been a labor of love for the last couple of years.
It's really cool, and I've seen you around at some Highland events.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
Yeah.
How does that align with your passion for connecting and serving the community?
Well, I think it's a great icebreaker. It's a great, conversation starter, and it gets us out and being more active with everybody. It's always just great, positive, uplifting conversation. There's, never a bad conversation over popcorn and snow cones. So it's neat to get.
What's your best popcorn snow cone story? What do you got for us?
Oh, well, we've actually been at events locally that were with a particular business, perhaps, and we'll have people that pull in just to get our popcorn, and then they drive away. And so I feel bad. Obviously I encourage them to visit the business, but it's kind of fun because we're becoming well known, and people are like, oh, it's Howdy, so they have to come see us. So.
Love it. And do you have any upcoming events that you're excited for?
Oh yeah, we'll actually be this Saturday. We'll be at Red, White, and Blues, and then in Livonia actually we'll be at the Highland Games. So if you're familiar with the guys that run around in the kilts and they toss the big giant capers and stuff like that, we'll be there. So that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, and then the concerts in the park in Highland start in July, so we'll be there all but one Thursday, I think the very last.
So with this mindfulness business and with your popcorn business, how do you plan to grow and evolve your presence in the community? And what does that vision really look like?
So I think we are actually set as far as the popcorn within the community. We are very well rooted with that. So we enjoy all of the small town events. I think that's just our niche as far as being in the community with that. With my mindfulness, of course, word of mouth. Anyone that is interested in personal development, we'll restart the whole series and at the activity center back in the fall, and we'll start that with like the introduction to mindfulness, introduction to meditation, and then it progresses through 2 more 7-week sessions. So it gets progressively more in depth. So word of mouth with that, and then above all, just my own personal growth, because I can only take people as far as I've ever been. So just continuing my own personal journey so I can offer my patrons and my clients the best information I can.
That's a really important point right there. With your work that you do, all of it, what inspires you the most to keep going?
It has to be the aha moments that I get from people. Of course, with the popcorn, it's just the fun. Like I said, that's just something fun to do. But the mindfulness piece, it is without a doubt the aha moments. You can always see the thoughts rolling around in somebody's head, they're thinking about it or they're taking notes. And then when they come back to me and say, so I did this little thing that you gave us that exercise for, and I didn't even know that I could do that. And so watching that spark light and the light come to their eyes and just the little twinkle of, maybe I can do a little bit more than I ever thought that I could. So being a part of that, being the facilitator in that, that's what keeps me going.
I could see that being inspiring. How do you balance it all, though? How do you balance being a coach, and a business owner, and a mom?
So I think they each kind of feed different parts of my soul. So again, the popcorn piece of it, that's just fun. And then the mindfulness piece, it's just a passion from deep in my soul. And it kind of ebbs and flows. So when creativity is more one way or the other, I'm able to use that momentum to feed into my coaching practice in the classes that I'm developing or the new tools that I can offer to my clients. And then it might shift and I might need a release from that, and we'd put a little bit more and do something new with the popcorn wagon. So as far as balancing all that with my being a mom, my daughter's 22. So thankfully most of my momming is done for the moment, but she helps us with the popcorn wagon too. So in the midst of her busy life and college and all that kind of thing, we still get that time with her, and that's really special that we get to share that with her too.
Okay. And all that can sound a little bit overwhelming. Have you ever been overwhelmed? Do you have any good advice for people when they're feeling overwhelmed by all the busyness or the chaos of their life?
Yeah. I think, of course, it's overwhelming, and there are days that I definitely find that I just put my head in the sand, and I'm like, what am I even doing this for? And who says that I can teach anybody about anything? And
you have those days too?
Yeah, I do. And it's real, and I think that's actually something that it's nice to present that to my clients as well, that we all have those days. So I find taking a step back, figuring out what is my capacity right now, because it goes, and sometimes I feel like I can conquer the whole world today, and tomorrow I don't even want to get out of bed. So what can I do today? And sometimes they say that, if 10% is your 100% today, then do that. and tomorrow might be better. So just giving yourself the grace on the days that you need it. And of course, still journaling, meditation, really becoming connected with what's important to you, whatever that looks like for you.
Thank you, Heidi. And where can the people find you?
So the name of my company is Delightfully Enlightened You, and that will get you to me on Instagram. That's delightfully_enlightened_you, or delightfully_enlightened@gmail.com for my email, or the Facebook group is also Delightfully Enlightened You. So it's a lot to type, but it'll get you there.
All right, Delightfully Enlightened You. Check her out. And Heidi, is there a message or a mantra that you want to leave our community with today?
Yeah, I think the biggest message is to know that we all have the same 24 hours. And the people that are in the growth space have the same 24 hours as the people that feel like they don't have time for anything. So just realizing that it's okay to take things off of your plate. It's okay to say no to things. It's okay to say yes to other things that are really going to fill you. Laundry can wait until tomorrow, believe it or not. And the best thing that I like to think about, where it's physical health and mental health, is if we don't make time for wellness, we're going to be forced to make time for illness. And so really just spending some time with that, and what does that look like? What do you want the end of your days to look like? And we have to reverse engineer that. So put some pieces into place so you have more wellness for as long as you can.
That's a wonderful point that you just made, that even when it feels like we are a victim to our schedule and we only have 24 hours, we can be courageous enough to look for the one thing that we can do during our day, that maybe 5 minutes, that'll change it. It shows how important mindfulness can be, that one person might feel limited by their 24 hours while one person feels empowered by those 24 hours. Hopefully you got something out of today's episode, and
it delightfully enlightened you.
This episode was sponsored by the Chiro Tribe Chiropractic.
When you're ready to embrace a healthier perspective tailored to your needs, discover a world of wellness with the Chiro Tribe.
Everybody say, bring that bone. Bring that bone along. Come on, bring that bone. Bring that bone along.
At the Chiro Tribe, we specialize in easing daily pains and discomforts at our House of Wellness, where we focus on what truly works for you.
Everybody say, bring that bone. Hey, bring that bone along. Everybody say, bring that bone. Bring that bone along. Yeah.
Experience the difference at Chiro Tribe Chiropractic and Wellness in Highland. Call or text at 248-800-6214 or visit us online today.